been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
I've been thinking, lately it's just me against the world. Round and round I'm caught up in this swirl, trying to dig and trying to burrow. Pressure turned this stone into a pearl. Lessons that I learned weren't always thorough, sugar-coated like a churro. Now I'm really out here on my own. Now my homies acting like I owe 'em, done extending out my arm. Made a lot of money from my poems, been around it now they say I'm on. I can finally say I'm up now, I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touchdown. Mind's on, I can't turn it off. Late nights and I'm turning up. Hate life, then I learn to love. Down and out, now I'm way above. I always knew I had it, now I'm living out my dreams. Treat that money like an addict, it's a habit, I'm a fiend. Feeling that rush, rocket ready to launch. Hands up, ready and gone, been waiting too long. Trust on plenty, that's wrong. Old me's dead and that's gone, thank God I'm headstrong. I don't wanna wake up with a doubt that I show them everything I'm about. I ain't never going out, I ain't never getting for no clout. Now I'm sitting pretty on the cloud, my mind's
I'm up now, I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, I'm on my way up, going up now.
Good evening everyone, welcome for tonight's race in Indianapolis, in USA. And it's going to be probably the only American track in the calendar, if I remember correctly. And it's going to be in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course. And it's going to be an all-hour of pure and intense racing for 21 drivers tonight in the pro category. We have some drivers missing, well, quite a lot to be honest, compared to the predicted number of people that were expected here. There is still the former. Wait, because I think he was okay. No, yes, I'm trying to remember who won last time, and I think it was Nakira in the Honda, because it was Nürburgring. So yeah, and I don't see any Mercedes, so his teammate is not here tonight. There is, as always, just a single Audi, couple of Hondas only. No, 3 Hondas, because there is also Terence Keenan for the ERS, and the Garvey here in the 221. So good Hondas are still here. With the usual traffic jam in the very late part of the track, you can see from the minimap. Even if a lot of drivers have took their space in front and behind to get on their first lap time. Temperatures are, I have no clue, so I have to see here, and I don't see it here, not here. Is there a way to see the temperature? Okay, oh! Okay, so it's 17, I wasn't looking at it. 17 degrees the air and 22 the track, but there is already someone off, and the Swedish driver is already off track into the gravel for a loss of traction on exit of turn 2. As this track apparently doesn't have names for anything. So I just have to do this thing here. Okay, now it's way better. Now I can also see the qualifying. Nope. Okay, I broke something. Maybe it works now. Okay, now it works perfectly. So we'll go with Juig, that is about to conclude his lap time in the 70 McLaren, and it's not going to be the first, because the first has been Domokos Kiss. Juig comes a second behind with Cassitrash in P1 for now. James Perry goes in first in the Porsche, and Mattia Nakira goes just behind him. Hi Chris. Cops goes in third, with Miladinovic in sixth. Terence Keenan goes in third, 4 times behind the other 2 cars. And I think the slips in front of him will be beneficial for him, but I think there is also is going to be a problem, because Erling is currently a whole second behind the leaders. Because I'm just saying that Perry and Nakira are basically the 2 leaders, as they're also improving the time. So I don't know if the ERS driver will have the chance to improve or not. Fever goes in 5th, even if he is classified as an IM. Not sure why. The current state. Cops is also improving quite a good amount. 3 times for now on his time. Same goes for Keenan. That is effectively on pole position. On pole position pace, but he has a car in front, so possibly not only dirty air, but also he can't really judge the braking points at this point. I think he will just abort the lap and give himself some space to play with. James Perry is currently just in front of his direct opponent, and he's going to be for the pole position again, 34.7, while Nakira goes just behind with a 34.9, 2 times nearly. Miladinovic goes in third, in front of his teammate, I guess he is, because the liveries are the same except they are inverted, unless it's just a casualty. Go check it. I think they are teammates, so no, they definitely... I will not believe that the liveries are just casually inverted. Steneskinen again on his lap, and the best second sector has been in Nakira's hands, 31.4, even if it's just been 3 milliseconds faster than James Perry's one. That is not improving, but Nakira is just behind him, just to have him the Porsche on his as his target. Different class to different. Okay. So it's a one-off, same one-off that Nakira had in turn. I have no clue which one is it. I think it is 12. If I remember correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, no, it was 12. Oh wait, it was 12. Okay, maybe I've done it right. Steneskinen currently completing his lap, but it's Cops that is improving a lot. James Perry puts another pole, 34.6, and Nakira still behind, but Cops goes in 5th place, 4 times of a second away from pole. And Schneider is also improving in the very final section of the track. Currently improving 2 times, so it will give him quite a good amount of position. It will put him on 8th. I think it is the situation. Yes, it definitely is 8th place without any doubt. 30 milliseconds away from Ingal, who is improving in this quite creative Aston Martin. All matte, orange and blue, very good colors. Definitely very good colors to blend. It seems like a retro livery too. Freddy Ingal is nowhere near. Okay, it's a yellow flag. I don't know if it was a mistake because it was improving. Let me see. So he goes into the right, clips the curb. No, okay. Okay. I thought he went into the wall, or he lost the car because out of nowhere I saw the gap going on the ground. Because they're still improving his lap in the 14 car, and also that turn is fundamental for gaining some time, as you can cut it straight away. Steneskinen is improving. He got in third, 157 away from pole, and I think he will try to use the slipstream as much as possible, even if Ring is and may be a bit of a troublemaker for his lap again. Consider that Ring last lap was 0.7. Okay, never mind. Oh, Miladinovic went in second. I wasn't looking at him. Miladinovic went in second place, 0.077 away from pole. And he is also in front of Nakira, oddly not in the first 2 places. He's currently in 5th. And behind Miladinovic, Keenan and Cops, with the 2 Ferraris that are in front of the Honda driver, with an Honda in between the two. Improving is also Garby in the other Honda, and currently improving is... okay, no, he's not anymore. Oh, that's the rear. Some time being lost. I think 50 milliseconds have been lost in the third, because traction became something not really important. For now we'll go with Garby because I think he's improving. To go here. No, not here, here. Honda has been slightly nerfed and its rev limiter is slightly shorter. And I kinda hate it. But currently on the infield section, going towards the bank part of the circuit. The banked part here that has some grip. And currently looking also at Nakira, because Nakira is improving a lot. In the very last part, I think the mistake was in the late stage of his lap. He's going to improve a whole tenth, and this puts him in 4th, just a position in front, but he still has a couple of laps to go. But for now the top 5 seems to have some gap compared to Garby, who is the first of, well, he is a bit of nowhere, no man's land, considering that he is 2 times away from P7, but also nearly 2 from P5, so he's there. He's basically in the middle of the sandwich. Currently Kammerer also improving 3 times in the very first sector. And Ferrari there in the 710. Huge number of Ferraris in this season. There are 6. There are 6 Ferraris on track tonight. I want to keep the eye here as Garby was never mind. He went on the grass, so the lap is definitely not valid anymore. But he was improving a lot. He was nearly 2 times in front of himself. The reason is to be okay. That's the reason, definitely. Curbed inside, unsettles the car, and the traction is no more. So 360 away from pole now, and he still has just a couple of laps. Consider that the lap here is 34, so not sure why Chris Schneider, Fever and Coleman are in the pits, Juwig too, but they still have like, okay, no, they don't have time anymore because they have to exit pit lane, so effectively qualifying is over for those 4 drivers. James Perry in the number 4 on the very late stage of the track is improving nearly 2 times into turn 13, and then 14 here to go into 15, and it's going to be quite an improvement to say the least. And on the order of 1/10, so it's going to be a 34.5 55 for the British driver there, with also Miladinovic improving. He has to improve a 10th more to gain the possible lead of the starting grid, but all the drivers in the top 6 are improving, and at this point I don't know who will get the pole effectively, because Miladinovic is very, very fast. 150 milliseconds on his lap time, 2 for Nakira. So it's definitely a battle for the lead as Nakira goes into possibly P2, 62 milliseconds away from pole. But Miladinovic is, it was close. I think he lost the tiniest amount there on the very last part of the circuit. It's going to be just 0.045 away from pole, even if James Perry is improving again. What was? And still May. Not really sure. Pointing to turn 13, and again 14 and 15. And Miladinovic is improving again. And James Perry too. So I think the battle will be between the 2 drivers. The British, and I fear to say something wrong. So it's going to be another pole position lap for the British driver in the 44.4, while I think it's Slovenian. Because I usually mistake Slovenia and Croatia. But for now, he also has the best second sector, 31.3. The first sector is basically the same. There are just 30 milliseconds of difference between him and Perry, but very much is made just in the last sector. There are 2 times of difference, so if he can make this one work, he will have the pole without any doubt. The problem is that he has to do it. He seems to have made some progresses, but it's not going to be enough. And his teammate behind... okay, so it's going to be just close, 57 milliseconds away from Perry, and his teammate goes into... It's going to be 4th? 177, just 10 milliseconds away from Nakira, and this puts Keenan into P5 with Garmin in P6. Erling is still improving his lap in the very final part there. And his improvement may put him in 10th at best. And it's going to be enough for improving his position. So he's going to be top 10 in qualifying. So this is your starting grid for tonight. Okay. With James Perry leading the way, and never mind. So I have to take this one out. Mission and position delta. Okay, now it's cool. Okay, so I also have to go into Assetto Corsa and go away from here and go into drive and go into the controller, and this is always the same because I also forgot to have the thing made correctly. So it's this one here, and this one here, and this one here. These controls, disable. Okay, now I can go. So little the tour of the grid while we go while I effectively just change the settings. That's the reason. So this is effectively the track, very long straight. Not press it rapid. I think that's a problem. Okay, if you want my advice, just you have to brake basically between the 2 walls that are. I will show you where to brake if you want. I can do it. You just have to wait a bit. You have to brake between the 2 walls basically. It's a bit difficult, but you can understand. So into turn 1 we go. Into turn 1 and then turn 2, you just really want to clip the curb, but not as much to go into the grass. And why the smooth is 87? And why I am keeping this here, because it's terrible. Okay, now it's better. Whee! Okay, it was better with the smooth. I admit the defeat. I will put just 90. Okay. So we'll go now here. It was turn 4, then turn 5 into the infield section. This infield section usually battle of overtakes, battlefield for overtakes on the inside, but also on the outside, because the next one is a right-hander into this infield section, and there is a lot of space to play with, because you can go into a cutback move, as you can use all this part of the track, because it's not track limit. It's not track limit, even if someone apparently here made some mistakes there. Then there's also the back straight here, quite long, enough to make. Okay, that's. I didn't go down in time. Over the billboard, you brake there on the 200. Just when you encounter the first the curb strike billboard, over the curb, not really over because you can jump away. Then here you try to cut as much as possible, and if you have the right bump stop, you can also go across the bumps, but they can unsettle your car. Here you can cut all the way down here without taking any track penalty, and use all the curve, and then onto the bank setting here into turn number 12. You go here very close to the curb, and then you aim for the outside, and then you aim for that little board there. It's 300 meters because you brake just there on the 300. You brake here, you aim for the inside, not too much because otherwise you jump. You aim for the outside, and then again you aim again for the outside. V-shape here to cut across onto the outside because you want to have a slingshot move for the start finish. You brake for the pit lane there, around here, basically, between the two walls. That's what I do usually, but I may not be trustworthy. And then into this giant pillar, which symbolizes the USA. Oh, there is some wind. Apparently the wind tonight is going that way. I'm not sure which way is that, but there is wind. If whoever wants to know the weather, there is weather. But anyway, go back here, and I need OBS, otherwise I can't do anything anymore. Okay. So effectively the wind. Wait, give me a second. I can't see it. Wait, let me see. Okay, so it's 4 kilometers per hour into. Okay, see, I should stop. It was just a gag. It was funny in my head, and it wasn't that much by doing it. But I don't care at this point. You now know that the wind goes 4 kilometers per hour. It's unfortunate because the wind here, it's just visual, when it could have been like physical too. Like if you go into the bank section with a 15 kilometers per hour wind, you unsettle the car. It will be quite a thing, honestly. It's not like this, like in COT having 20 kilometers per hour wind when you go on the uphill section, basically you explode because you don't have traction anymore. That would have been cool. In all of this, I didn't see that effectively Cassitrash is now the third of the Ferrari, because he was like in 14th place, and in the very last moment he put himself in 7th, so kudos to him, going just behind his teammate. I think there are McLaren forgetting to brake, going across 3 drivers. But we are going for the usual 4th place helicam here. Even numbers are on the outside with odd numbers on the inside. This gives a little disadvantage to the Ferraris, to the 2 Ferrari there. But for now we are about to start the 3rd round of the series. We are nearly there for start with the Ferrari and green light, and away we go with quite a good start by everyone except the cops, with a bit of a slow start compared to at least Keenan, and seems like Garvey wants to have his word too. Possibly James Perry gaining a bit the lead. There is Cassitrash on the inside, with Garvey goes on the outside. Ooh, I think it's cops going in contact with Keenan, and Keenan somehow maintains the car. Oh, never mind, because there has been an incident there, multiple cars being involved, and I think that was on cops' fault, because there is also a Porsche there. It was Chris Schneider being involved in an incident, making contact with numerous cars, so this puts Fever and Cassitrash one after the other, with Goodway just behind the Keenan, with possibly some damage on the front of his car. Bit of a unsettled start for all the drivers, with now Nakira just behind Miladinovic for 2nd place. With Ferrari trying whatever is possible. Meanwhile here Cassitrash just behind Fever. And then all the other part of the pack, with Keenan leading it. And Kiss goes on the inside of the Porsche 27. This is a 97, I don't know why. It was Danix on the pink Porsche, with cops now very much behind the grid in just 17th place. And then there is Lung, YZ Camera, Jewig, and then Chris Schneider completing the pack with huge damage on his car. We'll go see it just after everything is over. Meanwhile, the Porsche goes on the inside, listed up a bit between him and the Ferrari, with Kiss going from the outside. Okay, no, that's why, because Firth wants to go into the pit for repairing the car. Possibly damage is too heavy to compete with. I think that is a mechanic. It's Lunga going nearly into the wall, and is going to be overtaken by YZ possibly. And in fact, YZ goes alongside, but this gives the other Ferrari a chance. That's not going to happen for now. And it is Camera getting overtaken there. The Ferrari going on the inside of Lung. And I think Jewig wants to say the same. You know, we'll go here because good way. Oh, there's huge. Oh, contact between. Oh, there's been Cops Ingal. I think it was Cops Ingal making contact. It was in fact Ingal getting tapped by the BMW of Cops. And more contact with the Porsche. It's Danix there on the inside. So it was Edo Cops making contact with the Aston now in 14th place. Except I expect some penalties that will be applied as the time passes. But for now we'll go see back with the incident with a couple of cars. It was the first one, it was the 70 being involved with the 27 there. You can see it's 4 wide into the inside. Bit of sandwich there. Oh, yep, that's the Ferrari going out of place. I don't want to see what happened with Keenan and the 23 car, with James Ferry setting the fast lap. You can see there Keenan on the outside with the Ferrari, not really sure why he went so much on the outside and making contact then with the Porsche. And there has also been a contact on the very early stage with 69. Oh, comes across the track. This was a bit of a definitely a dangerous move by Edo Cops. So Edo Cops being a bit involved in some incidents. For now in 16th place, but really being a bit of a troublemaker in the early stages of the race. We are now with the 23, the other Cops guy, the Cops brother, I think he is at this point, because of the two drivers that are in the same team and everything. Cops goes into Ingalls inside. On the outside it becomes a switchback move for the Ferrari driver. I don't see the Aston nowhere, so going to TV1 back again here, and the Aston Martin is in front for now of the Ferrari. It's going to be the Aston on the side. It seems like it's going to maintain like this. And not the Aston Martin is now behind the Ferrari, so this puts Cops into 15th. Just behind, well, just behind, a second behind Domokos Keys. So now we'll go back into, speaking of which, oh, seems like the braking point has been a bit lost there. Nearly making contact with the rear of the Porsche just in front of him. And it's going to be a bit difficult for the Porsche to maintain the position, as I like the Hoonigan memoir on the rear. But Domokos Keys is now very much taking the position on Danix's Porsche. As Danix is now behind the McLaren that takes the position. It tries the outside, but unfortunately with the patch the Porsche is assisting back. Meanwhile Erlinga is off. Oh, Erlinga is definitely not in a correct position on the track. Is it been an incident of some kind? We can see from the helicam what happened. It seems like the braking point was actually successfully. Oh, contact with another McLaren. It was, oh, it was Jewing. It was contact with 70. And Jewing being the one that attacked the McLaren. Danix still trying with the McLaren, going into the inside. That's a bit of extreme move to go on over the outside to protect the position. But I think the Ferrari was 3 wide. Oh, that's a bit impossible. In fact, Kiss has been involved with the Cops. It's not really a good day for the two Cops for tonight. So the 220 and the 23 have been involved in an incident on the left-hander. It was 3 wide. It was I think impossible is the right word. You can see from the wing, you can see the Ferrari going on inside. Not really anything possible for the Hungarian. Facing the wrong way then. So a little incident again, another one to be accounted for the drivers. Meanwhile here it's Keenan that has made progresses into his race. It seems like the contact he made wasn't that much of a problem, considering that he's still lapping very quick lap times, 35.6 for the Irish driver, while the fastest lap was a 33.3. So I'm quite surprised by the Irishman, the young Irishman, former 3rd place driver into the rookies, and now behind his teammate, lapping 1 second quicker than the Ferrari, and nearly lapping as quick as the first 3 with damage on the front. So it was a very, it is a very astonishing pace. Seems like he's more angry than anything, considering that he has been tapped by the Ferrari. Oh, okay, I'm going a bit out. But for now, we'll go back. I'm not sure where. So I think I can stay. No, I think I can go here because Goodway and then. So Red King Motorsport in front of the 34. Speaking of which, I think we can go from the wing. And the Aston Martin is just there, waiting for a possible appointment with the 8th place. For now, it stays like Miladinovic goes fastest than anyone else in P2, 2 seconds away from James Perry. The thing is that Miladinovic just has to wait if he managed to catch the number 4. I think in IM. If he's not in IM, he's not racing tonight. Because I have no clue. I'll be honest, I have no clue. I think he's in IM. Still. Oh, why is he off? Oh, why is he being tapped? And I think I have the incident there with the 46. It was Ingal making contact with the 99. Oh no, okay. I think it was pretty much the opposite with McLaren, a bit trying too much and finding out. Meanwhile, Chris Schneider. Oh! Big loss of control for the Porsche. It doesn't make contact with anyone else, but it was a scary moment for the driver there. We can see back what happened. So the Porsche goes in the inside, taps a bit with the Ferrari, and goes away completely. Without control, the Porsche stays somehow. He doesn't go full speed onto the racetrack, but it was a really scary moment. He's not on IM. Oh, okay, so I think tonight wasn't racing. Keenan passes his teammates. I think it was. Well, I want to see back. Want to see if it was. No, I think it was just a mistake by the Ferrari driver. And Keenan passes by the orange Ferrari. So this gives free air, 2.5 seconds of free air for the Irishman, and now has to catch the 74 in his comeback mode. Wonder if he will repair the car. I wouldn't, but that's just me, because I'm so used to damage that at this point I don't care anymore. Every single race someone taps me, and I'm angry about it. So please stop seeing orange and declaring war on the color. But by the way, Goodway, pun unintended, Goodway is now very close to Dan. At this point I think it's the minimum distance we have achieved at this point, with Goodway costing into the left-hander. Not sure why he was costing into turn 8. Possibly he wants to stay behind some 10th, so he could go faster in this part here in the technical zone, and then having some advantage in the straight. I'm talking a bit maybe too tactically, but I mean it's possible. So for now the Aston Martin stays there. Even for the Aston it's an Hoonigan memoir for Ken Block. I think it is very cool, to say the least. But Goodway stays still behind the Audi. Nothing of huge importance happens on this section, but I still think that Goodway has a chance to make himself in a position. Last lap was a 0.7 for both drivers, and seems like Goodway is basically just waiting for a moment to attack. Meanwhile, P5, I'm looking there. It's already P5 moment. Apparently, the damage doesn't seem to be a problem too much, at least. Keenan now One sec. Oh wait, there has been an overtake there. Oh, there has been the Ferrari. I wasn't looking behind. There's been the Ferrari overtaking Ingal. And also there is... I'm not sure who that was. Okay, it is Kiss and cops behind. One after the other. Overtaking what's a lap down Ferrari. It was Furf. So this little train here with Ingal now just behind the purple Ferrari. And good way there. Still kinda studying his opponent. But the lap times will speak for them. 35 point... Okay. Okay, I'm looking at someone else. 36.4 and 56.3. So this time I think Goodway wants to try. Not now. Okay, not now, but has been fastest. The fastest of the two has been the British driver with the German. Now having to wait for a possible attack. It's quite possible that it may happen. Meanwhile, we'll go here because Joey and Kiss, and there is the other Ferrari there. One after the other in this little train that is being forming in the last couple of laps. You can see Kiss with damage on the front, but it doesn't seem to be too much impactful for the driver. Earlier on I was a bit giggling, mostly because I saw that Keenan made a 35.5. Faster than the guards in front, which is nice. Because everything is under my control. I see everything. Oh my god, mistake! Speaking of which, the Audi nearly lost completely the car and into the right-hander. And I think, oh, there is a yellow flag too. It's dewing off, but for now we'll stay here because then loses the position after a little loss of traction on this technical part. It tries to stay on the outside, which becomes the inside, so it may be a possible defensive move being applied, the cutback move for the Aston there. And Goodway is still behind the Audi, but I think the Audi has less performance than the Aston in this very part, considering that the Aston may have stayed behind the Audi, because this gives cops a huge chance to make it 3 wide into turn 1. It will stay 2 wide with the Aston on the inside. Outbraking, trying to outbrake the Audi, but the Audi is astonishingly good on braking there. Then stays in P8 and defends very well against the Aston Martin. It was a bit too quick. Oh, contact between the drivers and Audi is off. Oh, it was contact between the two drivers. Goodway now in 10th. But then has trouble. Definitely we'll see the incident as it happened between the 998 and the 34. I want to see from the wing what happened. You can see there, yeah, contact between him and the Aston going across. Oh, again, Danix contacts with Dan, and again the same exact move happened a second time with now Camera overtaking the Porsche. So not really a good situation for them that now has been given back the position by Danix. It doesn't seem like the same by Goodway in the number 44 is now keeping the pace. Sergio Osorio has been overtook the Aston. So it was a bit of a difficult position for the Audi. I want to see also what happened to Dewing in the 70, now that I have the time. It doesn't seem that anything happened though. Something happened here between Kammerer and Schneider though. I'm pretty sure I want to see... Okay, I can't. Okay. Funny. Oh, still there, Dan and Danix, one after the other with the Porsche that has to stay behind the Audi. You can see there, I think there is some bomb drafting that may happen. Enough non-bomb drafting will happen from Dedicam. It's 3 wide into turn 1. With Aston Martin trying the inside, the Porsche and the Ferrari having some contact there, and these cops on the outside that will not gain any position by everything that has happened. Oh, I think the McLaren is definitely off. Yep, Kiss is onto the gravel and he gets overtaken by YZ2. So this keeps Cops in 16th place, with YZ now in 17th. And, oh wait, and Cops now overtakes Danix. Quite Something happened there? Oh no, there's been a contact, that's why. 23 and 27, there has been a contact between two drivers. You can see here the Porsche going a bit off. And the Ferrari getting the inside contact between the two drivers. And position being done by the Ferrari driver without any real trouble. So now we'll go into Dan's perspective, well, rear wings perspective. As Ingal now very close. All the cars with some damage, but the rear damage is worse than front damage. The Aston Martin goes on the inside, tries whatever is possible. Even if I think it... Oh! Danix is off! At the distance, you were seeing them. I think I can go here. With Waizi gaining the position and Danix going off. But now I will stay here because the Ferrari wants to get the overtake done on the Audi. With the Ferrari staying on the slipstream. While the same happens from the Aston Martin just after, with the Ferrari now going into the inside. Nothing really happens. Meanwhile here, you can see that the McLaren going onto the inside. And getting the position number 17. On the Porsche. And still, Dan's possessing again. The rear not really being supportive. And the Aston is off. He goes across the track and nothing happens. I had to see back everything that has happened here from the Audi. Oh, he went into the grass a bit. Rear going a bit off. The Ferrari going on the grass. The Aston Martin touching the grass and going over the inside. Not touching any car. But Inga definitely in a bit of a dangerous position for a moment. As now Ingal is in 15th with Waizi and Kiss following behind. We are 34 seconds away from the pit stop phase. So possibly Keenan just saying cops. I suppose both cops, then Ingal and Kiss will probably go in the pits as soon as possible to repair the car if is needed. Okay, someone is going into the pit. Okay, Ingal is really trying too much. Ingal has to go. He doesn't. Oh, he has to wait. He has. Oh no, he went in. He went in 2 seconds too early. And the pit stop is not being counted, I think. He went to the pit stop 2 seconds too early. And Ingal has now to make another pit stop and save, maybe go for longer. Not entirely sure. We will see afterwards. If so. And I have to make this here. But I think it's risky. I think he... Oh! Oh, Kiss, where is he going? Somewhere not really on the track. You can see here. Has it been a mistake? Oh! The braking point has been forgotten by the McLaren. And in all of this, I didn't see the overtake between Terence Keenan and Fever. So that the Frenchman is behind the Irishman, was lapped very slowly because of the overtake. Coderman goes into the pits for, I think he is the effective first of the pit stop phases, and then goes to, no, then has been involved in an incident. 46 and 98, so it has been the case. No, it hasn't been the case. Oh no, this is, no. Too late. I'll never see it. And no one will. So then has been involved in a mistake somewhere into the infield section. And he lost some position. Meanwhile here seems like the thing stays. I will check. So I will check. We will discover if the overtake the pit stop being done by Ingal is effective valid, or it will be not considered valid, considering they entered the pit stop, the pit lane 3 seconds before it was opened. And it was a risky move, that's for sure, but I don't know I really don't know if it was still a valid one or no. Judging from Keenan's mentality, I don't think he will pit for damage repair, because his pace is effectively good enough, possibly, in his opinion. Because otherwise he would have already pit, or he will try to repair the car, trying to get as much seconds as possible away from the late guys, because here the pit stop phase is exactly 1 minute and I don't have here okay, 1 minute and a half. It's basically 1 minute and a half, slightly less, but up around there. And if you are just 6 seconds away from pole, with then going into the pits, if you are just 6 seconds away from the first driver, you are automatically a lap down. So this will put him effectively a lap down, everyone behind Nakira. Oh, there's been something here. Sergio Zorio has made a mistake somewhere because he's been overtaken by Goodway. Oh, that's area. Oh, that's area, the gravel too. And you can see Goodway passing by. So a bit of a aggressive downshift that puts Sergio Zorio now behind the 34 Aston Martin. So as I was saying, everyone behind Nakira is going a lap down if they will pit. Effective immediate. The problem is that you don't want to go into blue flag situation, because otherwise you lose time. Because blue flag means that you have to give the time, you have to give the position, and you have to lose time. For now I'll stay here because I think the wing is still full of Ferrari. Oh, so something happened there? Okay, no, camera went in the pits, that's why. Something happened. So the Ferrari losing some time. Now being 1 second behind the Irishman. Okay, no, this one here is good enough. Pit stop phase, I think it is time to use it. This thing here, position delta, no, give me the pit stops, thank you. Okay. So, it's Koderman, no, it's Kammer for now, but I think it may be Koderman, the first one of the pitted guys, with Firth having done 2 pit stops for damage. It has been quite a pace for everyone, around the 35 high, 36 low. Everyone from P1 to P6, well, James Perry is the effective only exception, because he's been lapping 35.5 for the whole period of time. But everyone between Miladirovic and Fever made basically the same exact kind of lap time, 36 low. If Keenan and Fever went a bit high, same goes for Garby, but he made a mistake. But the average lap is more or less there with the drivers, from 2nd to 6th, with this little battle between the 2 drivers there. Camera exits the pit 2 seconds in front of Koderman, lapping 36.3. Danix goes into the pits. I think that was a mistake by Keenan. Yes, in fact, you can see now the Ferrari getting closer and closer to the orange car. Seems like he will try an overtake. We are now into the 33 minutes. So 3 minutes away from the halfway mark. That will probably give some drivers the open gate for the pit. Meanwhile, here it's Chris Schneider and Jewig switching positions, with Chris Schneider's car quite damaged on... I'm not really sure which part isn't damaged. Keenan goes into the pits. So the first one of the top 15, no, top 10 goes into the pits. Same goes for GT3. So the two teammates have the same exact tactic. Possibly now we'll see if Keenan will repair the car or not. Because if so, he will certainly lose the position on Feather. If not, he will probably stay in front. It depends on his thoughts about the pace of the car. Coderman and Kiss are also battling for position there, but I think this time here, no, nothing really happens between the Porsche and the McLaren. Coderman, okay, another McLaren being involved there. Okay, no, never mind, because Chris Schneider goes into the pits. So we'll switch here between the two drivers that have already made a pit stop. So Keenan, GT3, Osorio, Wisey, and that's it. Went to the pits. And Chris Schneider went to the pits. So 5 drivers for now with 9 to go. 9 with a question mark because of the 2 drivers that went in the pits at the very second. And I'm not sure if the game considers the pit when it happens or when you enter the pit stop. If they will not make another pit stop, I think the answer is clear. Garby goes in. Garby goes in from 4th place. For now, the 2 drivers there are still one after the other. Okay, in terms of pit stop, speaking of repairs, I can tell you for certain that Kina did repair the car. A perfect pit stop, too. Osorio didn't. Wise didn't. Krishna did. 8 seconds of repairs. Camera 2. Coderman definitely did with 20 seconds of damage nearly. Dynamics 2, Dan 2, Ingal with 22, Rung same, that's it. So, oh, okay, this was a McLaren. Okay, it was Waizi, I think it was. Yes, it was Waizi, now behind the 2 drivers. You saw Kiss and Coderman going in front. But I want to see here, because I'm seeing something in the pits. Okay, no, never mind. I saw point 0. So for a moment I thought that they were one after the other. They are one after the other, but they are stationary one after the other. The mechanic there is still 220 car behind Coderman. And it's Miladinovic going into the pits. So this puts effectively Miladinovic now first of the top 3 into the pits. Has been made any repair by... Okay, no, Goodway. Seems like Goodway missed the pit box. And that's the only news for the drivers, as Cops didn't repair the car too, either. Very few drivers that repair the car, honestly. I thought more. Yes, I thought there were more. As Osorio is now in front of Goodway, so the pit box miss has been quite a game changer for the 10th position. As you can see now, the Porsche is in front of him. And remember that Osorio was behind the Aston prior to the pit. And I think the 34 will have the chance to make it back. Not really sure about the gaps. As of now, Garby and Keenan 5 seconds. I think it was slightly lower, slightly higher. I think it was 6 seconds before. I don't recall correctly. I may be mistaken. Perry and Akira now have a 10-second gap, with Perry going into the pits. Miladinovic and Juig were already. And Miladinovic goes, I think he goes a lap behind Akira. No, because Akira goes into the pits, that's why. So this puts Garby in 6th, with Miladinovic now exiting the pit, and Cops having some trouble with a car there. It is the Ferrari number 33. Getting himself a bit in the middle of the way for the BMW driver, 69 car. With I think it goes into the pit. Yes, in fact, the BMW goes into the pit, and this just puts no one into a pit stop position. So Miladinovic being the first one of the on-track cars that still haven't made a pit, that have made a pit. So this is completely useless as of now. I will put the nationalities. Okay. Still here, Koderman and Keys, one after the other. 6.0 for both drivers. So not really a change in position for neither of those. And I see that now that some pit stops have been made. Some drivers may have switched position. Ingal is just behind. Then on the inside he goes. With hot tires, he managed to stay in front. With Audi just behind. Oh wait, I think I'm saying something stupid because Dan made a piece of quite several laps ago. So I just think that was a move on inside for the Aston Martin there. With Dan now behind Ingal. And oh, the rear again. Dan has repaired the car, hasn't he? Yep, he does. Just as a second, but friends, that was a lot. Oh, I think there is the car there going on the inside. No, it's not. It was Juriger battling one after the other for the position. It's the 19th. Kind of looking around, and seems like Osorio and Goodway may have another battle ongoing. Another because it's the same as earlier on. It's such Osorio that this time isn't struggling this much with the car. Kind of trying to get the hang of it. 36.4 for Sergio Osorio, 35.8 for Goodway. So the 34 really having some good pace for now. And I need to see here. So there hasn't been any repair being done for the first 11 cars. No repairs have been done for all of them. The problem is that the pit stop phase have changed something because now Fever is 6 seconds behind Keenan. I remember that Keenan was just 3-4 tenths away from the Frenchman, and now it's 6. You can see now crossing the line with Garbi 4 away, and Akira now very close to Miladinovic. And the second is now very, very little. Second away. Oh, Goodway is into the grass. Into the grass, into the infield section. And it went, oh no, I think it's a drive-through. Is it a drive-through? It's a stop and go 30! Oh, disaster for Goodway. He apparently went into the pits way too quickly, and Goodway has a stop and go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. That's definitely suboptimal. And 10th place is now a thing of the past. He has to stay here for 30 seconds without doing anything. And with everything that Indianapolis has to offer, it's a lap of penalty. It's effectively a penalty lap for a stop and go penalty. So huge one for Goodway, now in last place, I think. But for now we'll stay here because Nakira has been gaining on the Ferrari in front of him, with James Perry now setting the 34, fastest lap of the race so far. And it's a 44.995, exactly on the line with the 35. 35.1 for both drivers, even if Miladinovic is basically a 0.2, while Nakira is a 0.1, 0.3 for Garbi. And it's going to be a 0.5 for Keenan, 6.5 for Fever, and 6.4 for Cassiterash. Something has been disconnected by my computer and I don't know what. Cool. Still here the battle for 15th place between Danix and Ingal, still sparkling. As the Unigan tagged Porsche has to stay in front of a very quick Aston. Onto the grass he goes. You can also see behind this battle for 17th. Porsche decides to approach a very inside line. No, not this one here. No bump draft for the Porsche. So you may see the Aston going in front. Now on the left, on the right side, and now in front completely. So the 46 is now in front altogether of the Porsche. We will instead go here. Oh, that's definitely not really the correct line for Unge. It still is now behind Juwig. And it has been a 44.9 for Perry, 35.077 for Miladinovic, and 35.0 flat for Dakira. And at this point I think a possible battle may be oncoming. 5.2 for Garby, 5.1 for Keenan, and yet with... Okay, when these things happen, I always want to put it like boldly. 35.1 with damages, okay? Just to say, and I think even the Binvu there. No, wait, where is he? I thought no, okay. I saw a 35%. Ah, no, it was Cops in the 23 car, also lapping very quickly. But I think he did not repair the car. So even for him, it was a 35.0 in the last lap, not this one here. It was a 35.4. But I think Cops 2 has damage on his car. So very good performance by both drivers, even with a car with damages on the front. For now, we'll stay here with his teammate. Lapping now into 35.1. And same goes for Nakira, who now has the slipstream to maybe have a chance. Oh, yellow flag. Oh, it has been an instant there. Oh, I'm hearing gravel. Where? Okay, contact there. Seems like the Audi. Oh, the Audi losing the rear. And McLaren getting tapped on the inside, on the outside, sorry. From the outside. And the Audi really struggling a lot with the car. Now in 20th place. And now the battle is here on the straight. So I really think, no, this one here is wrong. I really think that the Porsche and the Ferrari will switch position. In fact, you can see the Ferrari side by side with the Porsche. On his side he stays, but the Porsche has to defend from the outside, which is a bit of a difficult task to ask for. And the Ferrari is effectively in front of Osorio. So the Portuguese driver is in 10th, with Cops in 9th. So for now, we will still be here waiting for a possible battle between the other Ferrari and the Honda. The Audi doesn't look good here. The Audi is good here. What do you... No! The Audi is good here. It's astonishingly good. It's possibly the best car. Maybe the Honda has it slightly more, but the Audi here is the strongest. 100%. No jokes. Source me. But Miladinovic is still in front in the Ferrari, in front of the Honda, 15. Lapping 35. Why did I become Scottish for a moment? 35.2 for the 58 and 35.0 for the Italian, with James Perry just lapping in another plant. 34.8 for James Perry in the 4. There will be one here, but looks a handful. No, it lacks grip because it's Indianapolis. But honestly, the Audi here is very strong. I could pull out a very good result last time in the Audi. Hamilton did too. Heck. So that, trust me, the Audi here is very good. It's supposed to be the best car. Because you are good. No, I am not good. Stop saying it. You, between me, among me and my teammates, I'm the worst possibly. So it's not really a good position to be in. But Audi is effectively the strongest here. Shake my head. But for now, Nakira in third, still behind the Ferrari. Oh, there is Dan out. Then definitely not on track. That was the grass, and goes one lap down. I think he was already one lap down though. At this point, I really think it's a bit of a waiting game for the Italian, because Mattia Nakira is behind the 60. Wait, 58. Okay, I can still read the numbers. Still behind the 58, and they have been lapping 5.5, 5.5. Okay, I was looking at both times. At this point, the other drivers behind have a lot of gap, so they can effectively battle as much as they want. The podium is not really in contention at this point. That's a track limit. But Mattia Nakira is very close to the Ferrari. At this point, I really wonder when the overtake may happen. Because the slipstream really helps the Honda, even if the Ferrari is definitely good. Possibly the Ferrari is now one of the strongest, if not the strongest car, with everything. Oh, Nakira is likely goes over the brake marker and nearly makes contact with the Ferrari in front. 58 looking at the Honda a bit, getting a bit close, more than a bit. But I want to stay here because from the wing you can see the 966 in front of the 220 and the 710. Three different cars that are battling for a position, very close between each other. 36.4 for Koderman. Kiss made a 6.1 with camera making a 6.7. Close to the walls. And it was a 5.9 for the Aston, 6.3 for the McLaren, and 5.9 for camera. With the Ferrari going a bit off. You can see there, going a bit too much on the brakes. And kind of losing a bit the line. Position changes have been odd, to say the least, because there are just a tiny few changes, and then there is cops with 12 position being gained in front of the other cops that has lost 5. And at this point I think they are brothers. I'm not entirely sure about that. So now we stay in this very position. So this was a bit me being shot for the car to be heard, but now it's a battle against cops. Oh, I think this one of the... Okay, I think it's a 69 going a bit off the braking. And he has been overtaken by the other cops. So it's the 23 now in 8th place. Can't say it's cops in 8th place because it was already cops in 8th place. It's just a different one. So this puts the BMW in the BMW behind the Ferrari, even if I think it may have been just a family order or a team order or both. Consider that the Ferrari is very quick compared to cops, lapping 1 second quicker and a half. I still want to stay here. However, going 5.1, so going a bit quicker than himself, as all of a sudden, but a bit too late because he's 10 seconds away from the Irishman. So unless he picks up the pace for making it 1 second per minute, so more than 1 per lap, it's a bit difficult for now. But it's still a battle here for second place, with Miladinovic being there, still sitting in his second place without any real trouble, as the lap time has been steady into the 35, the low 35. Going into turn 13, sorry. As the 15 car has now a very little gap between him and the Ferrari in front. So this will be effectively a bit worthy. Bit wide for the Honda. But the last lap has been way quicker for the Honda driver. 5.5. And the gap is very little. Maybe a dive bomb inside. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as of now. Ferrari there. Maybe kinda having the hang of it. When we're trying, they still tend to go. So 7 laps? No. So 1.5 minutes. So 3 minutes. No, it's 7 laps. I think. Probably. So 7 laps to go. For now. As I'm doing mistakes on this matter. And no mistakes have to happen for the drivers here. Very much in a very close battle for the middle spot of the podium. Usually you don't want to stay in second place, because second place is just behind the winner. But you are happier when you are third, because you managed to go into the podium. That's something that science says, not me. Basically, you are happier if you are third than if you are second. Because if you are second, you think that you could have been first, while if you are third, you think that you are at least in the podium. But I think this time, science may be proven wrong, because this point here is second place being the central issue of the battle, as I don't think diplomacy will be a viable choice between the Italian and the Slovenian, with Miladinovic for now in front of the flat out sim racing. With the bright red and black livery. Oh, Garbi made a huge mistake. 6.4 in his lap. Okay, it's possible. Oh no. I can't watch 3 different battles. I can't. I'm not good enough for this job. Ah. Okay. For now, still here also, it's still the train. Among Koderman, Keys and Kammerer. With the Aston 966 still keeping the pace, even if it's slower than the other two, for the fancy racing. and Damokoski is just behind him, with Kammerer completing the train. This has been a steady pace for them into the low 6, while in front we are speaking with very low 5. 5.2 for both drivers. Wait, Miladinovic still second since the start of the race, and that's real because his position has never been lost by the Slovenian driver. Meanwhile, here Kammerer seems like he has a steadier pace than the Hungarian, as the 220 has some troubles keeping the gap with Kollerman, gap that is being eaten by Kammerer just behind him, now 4 times away, with a straight line oncoming. Oh, I think there has been something here. I think Miladinovic made a slight mistake. Okay, never mind. Oh, okay, I think Nakira made one too. So at this point I think the two drivers are trying the grass, more grass, still grass. Okay, nothing happened. But now Nakira has effectively lost the chance to battle for the second place in one single turn, because the grass collected him. Luckily, no damage to the car. So for now, the battle is also here for 12th place, with a Ferrari very close to kiss in front. And at this point it's a very quick battle here, and it is for the 12th place. Ferrari a bit loose on the rear. Oh, the Ferrari down very close. A bit too much. And in fact it was nothing being done by the two drivers. So reaching into the final 5 minutes of racing. And I was looking here, and I think Terence Keenan is very close to the car in front. Garby is just 2.2 away from Garby, and it has been a very quick recovery. Because in the 5 minutes ago it was 5 seconds, and the gap has been halved in less than the 10% of the race length total. And I'm very curious at this point because it's just 2.2 seconds, not 2.1. Okay, still 2.2. And with, I think it's 3 laps to go, maybe 4. The gap for Garby has been a 6 in the last one, with that's the Porsche going a bit in another racetrack. I think that the Garby is having some troubles for some reasons. I think at this point it may be fuel related, because it has been a 6, or it's been the back markers being in the middle of the way. But it may have been, if it isn't the back marker's fault, it may very well be fuel related. If not enough fuel has been put. Meanwhile, Keenan flashing the lights quite heavily on the McLaren there to let himself pass, and no trouble happens. But the gap is now 2.5. Oh, Ulunga Danix, one after the other here. With Ulunga on the inside, from Delicam we go, and the Porsche now on the inside, on the right-hander. And Ulunga stays behind, with the Porsche staying there where he is, in 16th place. Pretty sure it was Danix being overtaken, but not entirely. Now there is a straight line oncoming. Oh, never mind what I said, because I think the Porsche will be... okay, yes. It has been overtaken even before the situation happened, and I think that was Miladinovic passing by. It was in fact Miladinovic passing by in second place, 2 seconds away from Nakira, now behind the Porsche. And still here is the bit of a battle going on for the 12. Still between the 220 and the 710. with 3 to go, and it's 2 laps. 2 laps to go, so it's the last 40 minutes of racing, because James Perry has went over the line in 30 seconds ago, 35 now, so less than 3 minutes. We are now in the very late phase of the race, and Terence Keenan has been gaining another seconds at this point. I don't think it is the backmarker's problem. I think it may very well be the fuel. If he has put not enough fuel in the car, he may be going slower to be sure to arrive to the finish line. Because the gap went from a 5 steady, 5 point something, very low though, to a 6 in the span of a couple of minutes. And no damage has been done to the car, because I'm quite sure, because I don't see the 78, the 221 anywhere in my feed, in the incidents. Not even at the beginning of the race. So it has to be... it has to be something ongoing for the Honda here, for the Swedish driver. Now we will see the last... Yes, I know, Jeff. Thank you for ruining everything, as always. We'll see now the very last lap, the timed lap. If it's still slow, slow is a bit too much, but slower compared to himself. Because we are now going into the finish line with 1.4. And this in fact has been a 6.0 gain for Garby Keenan with a 5.9, so a bit slow lap. And it's 1.5 seconds, so this time the Irishman has to go faster than anyone to try to achieve the 4th place. But I'm very curious if Garby has a problem, or it's just his pace going slower without any real reason, except the one of going safer, because it has been a very quick drop in seconds. And we will go here with the number 4. At this point, really not having faced any single problem, any single issue, any single mistake. It has been a quite steady run, a fast one too, fastest lap holder even. And James Perry, number 4, is now the winner of race number 3 in Indianapolis. Very close to the wall, and it's going to be the British driver completing race number 3 in P number 1. Standing win again for the number 4. And the Porsche Express the win once again. And Miladinovic goes in second with Nakira, completing the race just behind him. And then here it's Garby, and just slightly away for the Eclipse Racing Esports, it's Terence Keenan. It has to be in 5th place. He needed some laps to go, but unfortunately it will never happen for him. Fever goes in 6th with Cassette Rush, completing the race in 7th place. And there is Rock Cops 4 seconds behind in 8th, with the teammate 69 car in the BMW, completing the race in 9th. Sergio Osorio in the 503 is completing the race in 10th place, with Coderman in the Aston 966 in 11th, and Kiss, that is now closer to the Aston than to the Ferrari in the very late part, but it's not enough, and it's going to be Kiss in front of Kammerer in 13th place. And then there is Wisey, the last one of the lead lap, drivers, completing the race in oh wait, Ingal has a stop. Oh, Ingal had a stop and go penalty. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Ingal apparently has a stop and go penalty, so the 46 is now in 20th. So give this away. Okay. So this was your race for tonight, with James Perry being the winner of the race, 13 seconds in front of Mladenovic, and then Nakira completes the podium. And then there is Garbi, Keenan, Fever, Kasitarash, Cops again, and Osorio that completes your top 10. But this was all for tonight. Great racing being done by all the drivers without any particular massive incident. And for tonight it's all. For tonight it's everything, and I will see you all next week, Tuesday and Friday, for Misano, first the rookie, and then the PureSimGear GT3. So for tonight, it's everything. Good night and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and goodbye. Bye!